Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my announcement. I guess it's a little bit late, but we're gonna go with that, of my Green Rider read-along. So I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, but we got an announcement towards the end of 2024 that the next book in the Green Rider series by Kristen Britton, Falling in a Sea of Stars, is coming out on September 30th, 2025. I'll put the cover up over here, but I have been reading the Green Rider series by Kristen Britton for a very long time now. In the month of February, I reread Green Rider, and then I reread First Rider's Call, both of which are right over here, but I'll pop their covers up because honestly I'm too lazy to go get them. Let's be real here. So I reread both of them in the month of February, and I was like, you know what would be pretty fun on my channel is if I just read one of these books a month up until the time when Falling in a Sea of Stars is released, and we will be prepared and fully caught up again by the time the next book comes out. If other people want to join me in reading and talking about these in the comments, that's great. I'm not making this a formal live discussion situation. I don't really see this garnering a ton of interest, but if it does, that would be awesome. But yeah, so I already read the first two books in the Green Rider series, so March I will be reading The High King's Tomb, which is book 3. Let's do a quick rundown of the first two books that I already read in the month of February and talk about our thoughts. So the first book is Green Rider by Kristen Britton. This is book 1, as I've said, in the Green Rider series. It came out in the 90s, I want to say. And you follow Kerrigan Gladian, who is a student at I don't want to call it a finishing school. I don't even think that it's like I don't know. She got sent away for her education, but she got kicked out of said school for fighting, inciting fighting. I don't really know how to describe that entire situation. It happens pretty quickly before the beginning of the book. So she gets kicked out of the school and she is trudging her way back home to her father to face her consequences. And while she is on her way there, she encounters a man with 2 black arrows in his back in the Green Rider uniform of the King's Messenger Service. And he asks her if she loves her king and will serve her country. And she's like, I guess, what is this about? And he's like, you need to carry this message to the king. So she decides to accept this task, and he dies right in front of her. It's very tragic. She accepts this task, and she then decides to journey to the king's castle at the capital in Saccaridia is the name of the, I don't know, the realm, I guess. Faces many perils along the way because of the political intrigue that is happening in the background that you don't know about because Kerrigan's like 14, 15 at the time. She doesn't care. So all of these political machinations are happening in the background, and because of that, they are trying to stop this message from getting delivered. And so as she is traveling there, she's wearing the man's uniform because she didn't have anything else to change into. She's got the man's messenger horse, she's got his satchel, she's got the actual message, and she is risking life and limb to get this message to the king so that she can deliver it to him. She doesn't know that she's warning him of anything or what it contains. She doesn't know anything about that. So she encounters a lot of random people along the way, some that are helpful, some that are very not helpful. She almost dies multiple times. She meets the Elysians, which are this world's version of like the Fae, very mysterious, very magical. She encounters them a couple of times and then carries on her journey. I don't want to talk spoilers about it though. That's not what this video is. So let's go into thoughts instead. I give this first book like a 3.75, 4 stars, because you can definitely tell that it's Kristen Britton's like first published novel, right? The writing is very reminiscent of a lot of 90s fantasy. It's very to the point. It's not very flowery. It's just telling you what happened when it happened. There's something refreshing about that. There's not too much extra going on. She hints definitely at the romance that is, I don't want to spoil too much here. She hints very heavily at the romance that has yet to happen at the point in the series that is currently released that I have been longing for since I started reading these books as like a 10-year-old. So I guess I didn't realize that it was setting it up so early, and I have kind of mixed feelings about that because Kerrigan's literally like 15 when this book starts and the romantic lead is say early 20s. Nothing actually happens there, right? It's just vibes, but that's a little weird. But obviously she saves the entire kingdom, and that's a lot for a 14-year-old, but then she goes home at the end. And so I liked it a lot, but like I said, it's probably a 4-star read for me because of the fact that you can tell that it's still pretty fresh She's still getting used to the world. She's still getting used to how she wants this story to be written, and it's very good and it's very engaging. But reading Green Rider again just kind of establishes to me that it's more of an introductory novel into the world and the characters than anything else. The second book was a lot better, in my opinion, and that's my segue into The First Rider's Call, which is book 2 of the Green Rider series, and Kerrigan is being called into the messenger service. So you see a bit of a time jump here, because Kerrigan at the very beginning of the book is forced back into the messenger service. She tried to escape and ignore it, but being a Green Rider is not something that you can just pretend didn't happen. It's a magical situation, right? And so she gets called into service as a Green Rider, and so she goes back and she joins the service, and then you see, I don't know how exactly long the time jump is. It's maybe like a 2-year time jump, if that. So she's like 17-ish now, 18-ish. She's an established Green Rider. She's been out of training for a minute. Everything's falling apart though. She is on an envoy away from the castle, and everything goes wrong. Everybody there pretty much dies, and she has to go and deliver to the king like her story of the events that happened. And throughout the rest of the book, everything is going wrong. The Green Riders are losing their abilities. Magic is wonky because the wall that separates the bad place, from the good place is breaking down. Like, it's locked. The forest, the evil, I don't know, scary magical forest is hidden behind the wall, and it's breaking down. And so they're trying to figure out how to fix it. They're trying to figure out how to save magic. Everybody's trying to establish what in God's name is going on, because weird shit's happening all over the kingdom. And Kerrigan specifically is dealing with this funky situation where she keeps traveling through time unexpectedly because of her rider brooch, which is like a little gold winged horse that the messengers wear. It tends to impart onto them their abilities. There's a lot of magical aspects to the brooch. So hers specifically has decided to just pull her through time randomly, and she gets to see a lot of events all the way back thousands of years to the very first rider, hence First Rider's Call. The first rider kind of appears to her as a spirit and is trying to help her save the messenger service and save the kingdom once again. That's a very broad overview of what happens in book 2, but obviously it's not a surprise. She is instrumental in once again saving the kingdom. The aforementioned romance that was hinted at is a little bit more strongly hinted at in this book. I'm still here for it, okay? I understand that it's not the greatest, and it doesn't start out the greatest, but I'm still so here for it. I need it to happen in future books. There are obstacles in the way of that. I need them to be removed. I have been waiting for this romance since I was like 10 years old, and I'm in a fantasy romance space. I've been rooting for these two to get together, and I just need it to happen, okay? I used to look up fanfictions on fanfiction.net of the Green Rider series in which these two ended up happily together, if that tells you, 1, my age, and 2, the depths of which I needed this to occur. First Rider's Call was significantly better than Green Rider in my opinion. I think the writing improves. I think that the world building improves. You learn a lot more about the history of Saccaridia, how it became what it is today. You learn about how the messenger service became what it is today. You learn a lot more about the overarching evil that they're going to be fighting over the next books in the series, and I think that it does a very good job of setting up a lot of the interpersonal relationships as well as the world building itself. I am looking forward to diving into High King's Tomb as soon as I can. We are getting into the meatier parts of the series. I mean, you can see, like, the first 3 books are these paperbacks right here. The next 4 books are these chonky hardbacks, so you can tell it really picks up stride in a very Jim Butcher kind of way, you know what I mean? Like, the first books, there's like the evil of the week, and then it really picks up on the background plot. That's kind of what happens here. I'm gonna pick up High King's Tomb in the month of March. If anybody would like to join me, you are absolutely welcome to. I am probably going to be talking about it in a video next month where I discuss my thoughts on it and what might be happening next. But that is all that this video was really to say, is that over the next several months I'm going to be reading books from the Green Rider series, and I would like people to join me if they want to talk about it. If not, that's cool. I'm perfectly content talking to, I don't know, empty space about all of my thoughts and my love for this series, but I would love it if anybody would join me and discuss it in the comments, whatever. Let's talk about Green Rider. Let's bring some attention to it. Kristen Britton's, I think, a very underrated fantasy author. She started in the 90s, and she's got a huge, like, kind of cult following, but I don't think it's nearly as big as it should be. So that's all I have to say for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Down in the description box, you're going to see links to my Goodreads, my Storygraph, my Instagram, and my X, in case you want to follow me on any of those. If you're interested in Unplugged Book Box, I do have a subscription code CAT5. That'll get you 5% off of any of your orders. You can find that down below as well. But that's it for this one today, guys. So I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.